Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Pia and I am so happy that you're joining me here today for a little chat about yarn and knitting. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm so happy you stopped by. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thanks for choosing to hang out with me. You may notice a slight change of scenery in the background. Peter and I decided to treat ourselves to 2 weeks away from everything. So we are here in the Maldives now, just having a wonderful time. You may also notice a change to the format of this video. I am trying to divide my content up into sections to make it easier for you to navigate the video and also to make it easier for me to remember everything that I want to talk about. So let's see how that works. I have 2 finished objects this week, one of which I am currently wearing. Well, I'm wearing this all the time, to be honest. This is, I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, know this pattern. This is Look at My Holes by James and Watts. And it is perfect to just pop over your swimsuit and some jean shorts and you're ready for the whole day. No costume changes. You just pop this over when you want to go from beach to restaurant or whatever. I knit this in some drop spell, which is a DK weight cotton linen blend, rather stiff yarn. And that in combination with this beautiful stitch pattern actually took my arm out. I could not knit for a whole week after finishing this in a day and a half. Just to be fair, I was knitting like a mad woman on this one because you just want to work one more repeat. That's how repeats or stripes work for me. Just one more. So was it worth it? I don't know that anything is worth not being able to knit for a week, but I am very, very, very pleased with this one. And as I said, I am using it all the time down here, and I can easily see myself using it as a nice layering piece at home as well. So it's kind of worth it. I did see that some people commented that the neckline was rather narrow. So what I did was I went up a size for the neckline and I did the old Norwegian cast on, which is super stretchy. That is actually my cast on for almost any neckline. But yeah, just to make sure that it wouldn't sit too high and feel like restricting or and then I just followed the pattern for as long as I thought I needed. When I felt that, well, it's big enough, I separated for the sleeves, and I also knit the body a bit longer than the pattern calls for, just because I wanted a little more coverage than the pattern suggests. And I knit some short sleeves, and yeah, it was quick and easy and a lot of fun. So I definitely recommend this pattern. Just think about your yarn choice, and if you are going with a stiff yarn, a plant-based fiber, maybe don't knit it in a day and a half. Maybe break it up in pieces. But yeah, wonderful, wonderful summer top. My other finished object is my new design. This one, my drop top, I'm calling it. It is the summer t-shirt seen from the front. It is very plain and simple, but from the back, you have this cutout section that creates sort of a little waterfall down your back. And I will say this is designed to work with a bra. It's not going to show any bra straps because we don't like bra straps, right? We like to be covered up, but we don't want to, I don't want it showing. So this t-shirt, as plain as simple as it is also a new favorite of mine. It is very, very easy to wear, and things need to be easy to wear in the summertime. You can't really be bothered putting together an outfit, right? So this one, it's a little too warm for me to wear it in the daytime down here, but I do use it a lot in the evening when I just want a little more warmth when we go out to eat in one of the teeny tiny restaurants on this island. It is made special, obviously, by the yarn. This is cashmere and silk, so it is so soft. It is so fluffy and snuggly, and then the silk adds this amazing glow to the colors. And the colorway is special as well. This is yarn from the Danish hand dyer, Knitathon World. And this is her colorway, My Way. And it really changes with the light. It goes from a light gray to a sandy beige to all the kinds of beautiful neutrals that you can ever imagine. And yeah, as you can see, it folds up and takes no space in your suitcase or, yeah. Because of this drop in the back, it is lower in the back than in the front. And it is designed to be worn with quite a lot of positive ease. You can see here, I have plenty of space for myself, but the waterfall part here also adds some extra space in the design. So yeah, as plain and simple as this is, it still feels really, really special. All the edges are just rolled over edges. There's no finishing at all. It's just, I wanted to keep this very, very simple and easy. Around the edges of the waterfall, I did a fold over hem just to make sure that this didn't curl too much. I did try at first to just leave it as is, but it did curl in a way that I didn't like. So I added this this folded over hem. Yeah, but this pattern is out in testing. I think I'll be able to release the pattern soon-ish. The testers are plucking away on it, and there's a lot of stitches. These are relatively fine needles and a lot of stitches, but it's simple stockinette in the round, perfect TV knitting, relaxed knitting. So yeah, if I do get an opportunity to take a photo of me wearing it, I am gonna pop it here, but I don't know that will happen, to be honest. Peter is out right now looking for a manta rays. When he comes back, I may be able to talk him into snapping a quick photo. For works in progress, I also have two. I'm actually trying to cut down on the number of active whips that I have on my needles, just so that I have two very different pieces to work on, but trying not to overwhelm myself with a load of cast-ons. I don't know how long this is gonna last, but that's what it's like right now. So one of the things I have on my needles is something that you have seen a few times before. This is my Snowflower Wrap that I am really enjoying this project because it is so simple and so easy, and still you do have the slip stitch pattern just to keep your interest here. It is heavily inspired by my Snowflower blanket that I just released a couple of weeks ago. When I was taking the photos of this blanket, I was using my grandson Theo, and my son at some point just took the blanket, just hung it around his neck, and that looked absolutely fabulous. So right there and then I decided that I wanted to knit a wrap slash scarf. You can use it either way. It's gonna be a nice wrap, but because this material is so light and easy, you could also use it as a scarf, which is probably how I am gonna use it most, because I don't really wear wraps a lot, but I do wear scarves. Just like the Snowflower baby blanket, you start with an I-cord cast on, and then you knit it on the bias so that you get these longer pointy ends, which I really like for a scarf, so that you don't have this big bulk of fabric just ending at once. Here you just have it just tapering away as it hangs. And it has this very, very, very simple slip stitch pattern. And apart from that, it is pure stockinette stitch. Very easy to work, but still interesting with the increasing and the decreasing and the slip stitches. I decided to make this a 3-skein project, so I am almost done. Like, I only have this very, very little thing left, and I do believe that I used around 3 grams for the I-cord bind off. So when I have 5 grams left, I am gonna stop and just bind off with the I-cord. You of course also work the I-cord on the edges, so there is absolutely no finishing on this one. When you're done, and you can just throw it around you. This yarn is also a luxury yarn, also actually from Anita's World. This is her undyed baby alpaca, silk and cashmere. So again, soft, drapey, and then you have the alpaca to give it just a tiny bit of a halo without it being too overwhelming. Sometimes I do find alpaca just a little bit itchy, or I don't know that it's itchy, but I find that it upsets my skin, especially if I put it against my neck. But this one is so soft. I could use this as a pillow. I could use this as an undergarment. It is so, so, so soft. So this blend is just perfect for something that you want to wear around your neck. So yeah, this is my afternoon knitting down here because it's too big. You can't bring this to the beach. You're asking for trouble if you bring something this big to the beach. Beach knitting needs to be small, portable, and I have a perfect example waiting here for you. Sorry, Someone is leaving. Oh, I don't want to leave ever. Well, anyway, where was I? This one is my afternoon in knitting. In the afternoon, we often hang out right out here. This is facing east, so in the afternoon there's shade, there's just a little bit of air coming in, and we can just sit and look down into the reef, look at all the fish. We saw 5 sharks playing around this morning, so that is when I will be plucking away on this one and having a wonderful time. But yeah, it is coming to an end, so probably next time we talk, I will have turned this one into a finished object. Even though it does feel sad, I have really enjoyed knitting on this one. My other work in progress is my plain knitting and my beach knitting. For beach knitting, I typically will go for something relatively small, portable, easy to keep in your project bag so it doesn't get into the sand. I will go for something without alpaca or mohair because those fluffy fibers combined with sunscreen, it's just not what you want typically. So I was scrolling through my favorites on Ravelry and I saw the Elsewood. This is such an amazing wrap. And I have a history with this wrap. Around this time last year, right after I finished my Minimax blanket that I knit out of my advent calendar last year, I was like, this pattern could be used for a shawl or a wrap. So I started knitting the same pattern as the Minimax blanket, which is just squares that was divided into triangles using some short rows, just like the half and half wrap, just flatter. Does that even make sense? A more shallow slope. Then as I was knitting, one day I wasn't paying attention and I got this little wonky wedge and I was like, that looks amazing. I want to turn all my wedges into something wonky. So I ripped out everything that I knit and I started again making these wonky wedges in 3 autumnal colors, and I was loving that project. And I even wrote up the pattern. Like I made these, I think I made 8 or 12 different wedges, and then I wrote in which wedge to work when. Wow. And I was having so much fun with that. I thought, this is a pattern. This is so much fun. And then I was watching the Gaddy Jacks podcast and I saw that Jackie had cast on for this one. And I was like, that looks familiar. And I went and I bought the pattern. I was like, no, that is my pattern. So I totally lost steam on it. I was like, no, that was my idea. I thought I was being so original. I was not. Someone else had already had that thought. So I just put away everything and forgot about it until recently when I was looking for some beach knitting. And I decided, you know what? I'm gonna knit this pattern because it is beautiful. It is a great idea, even though someone else had it before me. So I am knitting this almost exactly to pattern. I'm only using the two colors, the black and the white, which also means that I always bring some wet wipes to the beach, because white yarn and sunscreen and sand, yeah, you want to just be able to clean your hands before picking up your knitting. And it is written exactly like I did. So what I have done is to not have to sit and throw back and forth between these different pages of the pattern. I've just written some notes in very short form, what to do when, how many short rows and how many rows in between and so on. So yeah, I am really enjoying this, and I am looking forward to the finished shawl or wrap. It is so beautiful. The only changes that I'm making to the pattern is I am using German short rows rather than wrap and turns, which means that I will knit one stitch further than the pattern calls for. So if the pattern says knit 20, wrap and turn, then I will knit 21, because my wrap and turn will then be the first stitch after the turn. And then I am also playing with the idea that I will, rather than seam these together, because I'm thinking you'll be able to see it because it's black and white. So in the white sections, you will be able to see a black thread, and in the black sections, you'll be able to see a white thread. So I will try to pick up all the stitches along the edges here and then work them together with an I-cord bind off, so that I get these black I-cords running down to gather the three different sections that you make. And then I'm also going to put in black I-cord all around the finished wrap. That is the plan for now. Let's see what happens. But I do have to make a decision at some point, because if I don't do it that way, then I will have, this is the centerpiece, and I will have to work the side panels differently if I'm not gonna put on a finishing I-cord. But I do think I like the idea of something all black tying the whole thing together. We shall see. The yarn that I am using is some very budget-friendly yarn. It is Drops Baby Merino in the off-white colorway, that is colorway 02, and then the black, which is number 21. I was debating whether to pick the clean white rather than the off-white, but I actually liked these two together better than the very, very white. So this is what I'm going with, and I am very happy with it. I am, of course, gonna link the patterns to this and to the Ellsworth. The other things are patterns that are not out yet, but I'm of course gonna link that in the description box just below this video. But yeah, I am trying to stick to 2 works in progress, or 2 active whips at a time, in an effort not to overwhelm myself. This week I am publishing the pattern for my Snowflower vest. This is worked in the same slip stitch pattern as my Snowflower Wrap. It is super easy, super simple. A vest that is inspired by my Japanese robes. So it is completely two-dimensional. Typically our clothes are three-dimensional, like in something like this, you will add some stitches at the underarm just because bodies are not two-dimensional, they're three-dimensional, so you want to add some fabric to accommodate for that. But old traditional Japanese clothing is two-dimensional. Much easier to fold, I will say, and something interesting happens when you design in two dimensions. So I wanted to try my hand on that, and that turned into the Snowflower vest. If you are a returning viewer, you will have seen me working on the vest for quite some time. If you are new to the channel and you're curious about the vest, you can go back to previous episodes to see me knitting on the vest and talking about the ideas behind it. But yeah, I am actually publishing the pattern today as I am recording, so that will probably be yesterday or the day before yesterday when this video comes out. I've also released the pattern for my Snowflower baby blanket, which I will say, if you like this wrap and you like the Snowflower baby blanket, which is here, there's no need to buy both patterns. They are very similar. I think, yeah, 10 stitches less for the wrap than for the baby blanket. Everything else is exactly the same. So if you like both, just get one of the patterns. That is more than enough. This is just, I did not plan for this. It just happened. Other news, upcoming events, I will say, is our Knitathon on April 22nd. We will have our spring Knitathon, 24 wonderful hours dedicated to our knitting, to our community, to sharing, hanging out, having fun, knitting as little or as much as you want to. If you want to know more about the Knitathon, you can go to the description box below this video, or you can go to my website, fiftyfabulous.dk, where there will be a schedule posted. Because it is a very simple and very informal event. There's no need to register for the event. You just go to the YouTube channels mentioned in the schedule at the time mentioned in the schedule, and the podcaster will show up either live or with a brand new Knitathon related episode. And I will say we almost have filled all the time slots for the 24 hours. But if you do have a YouTube channel and you want to add to the content, yay! Please get in touch and we will find a time slot for you. The more the merrier. It is so much fun to hang out with all our knitty friends. As I have already mentioned, Peter and I are on vacation. This is our first just us vacation since 2015, so it is well deserved, I think. We are for sure enjoying it. We're on the small island Digali in the Maldives. I think it's a little slice of paradise that someone left behind. It is so beautiful here. It is absolutely wonderful. The trip coming here was, we had to fly from Copenhagen. We were in Denmark at the time, so we flew from Copenhagen to Doha, then from Doha to Male, which is the the capital of the Maldives. And that was, well, that was like any long-haul flights are. There were just 2 of them. But then from Mali, we took is it called a seaplane? Like the thing that you saw before that they take off and land on water. We took one of those to get out here. And it was so beautiful. I am gonna put some footage at the end just so that you can see the crystal clear waters going from deep, deep blue to turquoise where the coral reefs are. It is so beautiful. It's amazing. We are in a water villa here. So as I said in the afternoon, we're sitting out there and we are more or less looking down on the reef. It's a little further out. You can actually almost see where the water changes color. Yep, now you can see it. That's the reef. But there's a lot of fish coming in to greet us here. It is so nice. Did anyone watch The White Lotus? I'm sure you did. If not, yay. I envy you that you haven't watched it yet. When we arrived here, it did feel a little bit like arriving at The White Lotus season 1. Everyone were lined up to greet us, and it has just been pampering from the second we set foot on this island. And yeah, I like this. And I am so enthusiastic about this place, even though there is nothing to do. Maybe because there is nothing to do. I like nothing to do. The only thing you can do are water sports, snorkeling most, but all kinds of water sports basically. And I don't really like going in the water. I have this crazy thing. I would rather sleep with a snake in my bed than I would have a fish swim into me, which is ridiculous. My brain knows that it's ridiculous, but my brain kind of shuts out when I go into the water. So yeah, I do swim in the lagoon where there's not too many fish, but I don't go snorkeling. I did try. I really did try. But I don't like it. Sometimes I will go to the edge of the reef and stand there and look. And everyone are like, oh, but if you go there, you're going to want to snorkel. You're going to want to see anything. Nah, I'm good. I'm good, just standing there looking. So that's my personal brand of crazy. I am still enjoying the Maldives a lot. It is beautiful here, and I can find nothing bad to say about hanging out on the beach, knitting away. I brought a couple of good books and an audio book, and I am having a wonderful time. After this adventure, we're actually going back to Texas, so I also have good things to look forward to. I am hoping to meet up with some knitting friends in Texas. We try to meet up every time I'm there at the McKinney Knittery, so if you're in the area, please reach out if you want to join us. We always have a wonderful time together. And with all that, I think I'm gonna end things now. I am gonna put some footage. I'm gonna let you follow along for a day on the Maldives, ending with all the sea sparkle at night, which is just magical. So until next time, be happy, be safe, and enjoy your knitting. Bye for now.